What's up, everybody? I'm Erica, and we are here to watch Interview with the/a Vampire. Yeah. Uh, anyway, so we are here to watch episode 6. So we have one episode to go, which is the season finale. I know I'm pretty late in watching this, as opposed to when it came out, but I think it got renewed for a second season. If it hasn't, it definitely should be. So, episode 5, Claudia left home, rightfully so. Lestat, again, is still terrible. That has been the theme for me throughout the series. She left and she got a taste of the real world and what it could contain. She's been all across the country, all the way up to Missouri, eating and killing and eating. And they don't indicate what university she met that other vampire at, but I know it's in the South because of, well, it could have been anywhere, but more than likely it was still in the South because of the white dude that was harassing her when the vampire came up. He was just kind of like, you don't need to be in the library. So she was presumably sexually assaulted by another vampire, which is just so terrible. And she finally came back home, and Louis was immediately happy to see her, and Lestat was immediately jealous of her. She seems to have found a voice for herself, and her voice is for her and for Louis, because Louis just, Lestat is all he knows as a vampire, and he really, even though he's mired in this depression without Claudia, he just doesn't know how to leave him. And Claudia comes home and she's like, listen, I came here to pick up him, and fuck you. And that just threw Lestat into a tizzy. Him and Louis have this horrible, horrible fight. And with Lestat being a much older vampire, therefore he is way more powerful. He drags the floor with Lestat, like literally and figuratively. Like he drags him out into the street, which you wasn't worried about nobody seeing you on that street. That's how angry you were. And they fly up above the clouds, and he tells Louis that he's just been waiting for him to love him, like he wants him to love him. And it's like, I didn't, you gave me no choice to be in this life. So I'm not even really sure what you're waiting on, in my opinion. Now, Louis is too beat up to really say anything. He just says, let go of me. And from the heavens above, I mean, he was essentially where Spider-Man was on the big wheel going to Thanos' country. He was up there. Drops him to the ground, and then he just levitates down like, what's next, guys? And so that is where we left off. That's where we're going to pick up right now. Like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. Please. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it now. Like angels put in hell by God. I guess I was right.
I took naps at night then. I would feel the air against my skin as though I were still falling.
The man got PTSD.
And then I would land all over again. Excruciating pain was the proof I was still alive.
Like Superman?
Not like Superman. Superman is a fictional character.
But in the air with a fuck you to Newtonian physics flying.
He said it was more like floating, arising at will, propelling in a direction by the decision.
He was flying.
He called it the cloud gift.
Can you fly, Louis?
Hell no, because I would have flown in. Go on somewhere. Go on, Ike. I don't want to hear it, Ike.
I've been calling quite often. I don't know if the operator is passing me through correctly.
No one here wishes to speak with you.
But I know he's upstairs. I can see his silhouette. Perhaps we should let him decide if he wants to see me or not.
That would be your answer.
How's that for an answer?
Louis, I don't know what possessed me that night.
3 years ago. That night 3 years ago, he means.
Damn,
I
3
was someone I don't
years.
want to be anymore. I've changed.
You don't get to say you changed.
Let me prove it to you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without both of you.
Child, listen, you know acting,
If you want me to go away, just say so.
go away.
I'll obey you.
But in the spring of 1937,
This is manipulation yet again.
he had written it himself in the music of the hour. His first composition in 100 years. He pressed only one album. Had the master recordings destroyed. You're listening to an inferior re-recording now. The audacity of it all. Write me a song, put your lover's voice on it. What the fuck is wrong with your hair?
Louis, you're soaking wet.
I swim fast and I drive. Put some clothes on, get the fuck out.
This is my house.
Do I look like I care?
Lestat.
Leave.
You took Lestat back.
The vampire bond. There is no human equivalent.
Lover, murderer, maker. You took him back.
But there were 3 of you.
Yes.
Number 4.
Kill Antoinette.
Rule number 6. No lies. Did you have anything to do with Paul's death?
No. I would never hurt your brother.
It's just something I always...
Never.
Who made you?
Oof, that's a good question.
His name was Magnus. He took me from my room in Paris as I had kicked and screamed. He kept me for a week, locked in a room full of corpses.
Eek.
Some freshly killed, some bloated and black.
Ew.
They all looked like me.
Blonde.
My coloring, my physique.
My own eyes, staring back at me from rotting faces. He fed on me every night. And then he'd put me back in the tower with the look-alike corpses. I thought for sure I'd be one of them, but instead he turned me into this.
And then I was alone. I thought, I can't drink hot blood. I can't feed on others. I cried. I called to God.
That's why you don't like God. She's like, don't fall for it.
Like being about.
Kill Antoinette.
It was an awkward time. I loved Claudia with all my heart, and I loved Lestat with a wounded one.
Why can't they just move?
Convincing the two to find room again for each other. Concessions would be needed. I eat what I eat. She eats what she eats. We respect our differences.
But it's always made me feel loathsome, like I'm looked down upon for my body's needs.
Well, you don't actually need it.
There it is. It's an air of superiority when you say that.
I didn't say you couldn't. Just say you don't have to.
I agree. I know you don't mean to, but I feel the same. Feel tolerated.
Why didn't you ever say something?
Some common ground.
She doesn't want to upset you.
I can speak for myself.
You pushed a little too far, Lestat.
Every
You was
night
doing good.
we hunt. Every night, these feelings arise. breeds resentment.
I don't want that.
Well then, at the risk of paralyzing this household with more compromise, may I propose another rule? When we hunt human. We are a vampire. We should not call me a dog, but an honest dog.
So close, yet so far.
It's his nature to lie.
Claudia?
Lestat.
Oh, he killed her.
You like souvenirs?
Leave the damage so we never forget the damage.
He's like, God damn, girl, I can't get nowhere with you. Which he deserves.
If you could just give him an inch.
Once I absorb at his birth, then you're back to eating from his hands.
Compromises to make this right again.
You gotta protect them
I'm
ends,
taking
girl.
blood. He ended it
You
with
need a whole
cigarette.
like satin
What you
thing.
doing?
I'm enduring.
Oh, the coffin is lined with satin. Never mind.
She's grown very protective of me. That's what this is. That's hard.
You beat the dog shit out of me.
Came back
She
to
doesn't
life.
want that to happen again.
There's a darkness in here that wasn't there before.
Ugly when you act like that.
Better ugly than blind.
She's an infected, self-absorbed, nasty little creature who's fooled herself into thinking she's smarter than she is, and she's poisoning the weak against me.
Don't need her. Don't need her. Appreciate you like I do.
I've given her so many gifts, so many incalculable gifts, and you're right, it is both of them. He broods, she snipes.
Doesn't cigarettes taste like paste to them too?
We should go away this time. Well, now that I'm dead, I can be whoever I want. I've been working on a new name. What do you think of Marie LePere?
Don't be ridiculous.
Why you don't want to look at it? You did it.
I know. I didn't mean to make you mad. I love you, Lisa.
What difference would it make?
Cause he let that man cheat in peace. Quote by Tamar Braxton. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. Let that man cheat in peace. And he's being honest with himself here.
This life, it does a number on the head, on the soul. If we even have a soul. We can say that won't be us, but every night I feel a little crazier.
And off to Antoinette.
I'll see you both at dawn.
When he hurts you again, and he will, come find me. I'll be in.
Prague. Bucharest.
Okay. They not gonna get to me.
But it was 1939, and the only Negro allowed in first class was the porter. And the Negro passenger rode the rear. The Negro vampire made do with what was left.
Louis, come. Listen here.
What is it?
Germany's invaded Poland. Tanks rolling through the countryside. Horrors unleashed.
Since when do you care about humanity?
Well, I don't. But to think, our sister, impulsive tot that she is, was on her way to holiday in Europe. I'm so glad she decided the better of it. Tickets, please. Tickets, please.
I truly have no words right now. The dogs know to be afraid of this motherfucker.
You left without saying goodbye. Again?
He is so dramatic.
I'm sure it was an oversight. But still. You'd think your creator had run the courtesy.
You didn't want me. You made me for Louis.
And he needs you now, more than ever. He's in a terrible state.
He said I could go. He picked you over me.
Louis couldn't pick an apple off a tree in his current state. Naturally.
I've been having a thought the last few days, Louis.
Yeah, what's that?
I think he killed Magnus. I think the vampire made him a slave. And he would be a slave no more than I would. And so he killed him. Killed him before he knew all the things he could have known. And now he's gone and made us slaves to him.
Thank you.
If you're going to beat Lestat, you have to become Lestat. You have to think like he does. And then 5 moves ahead of that. And I want to tell you something else now. The secret is, Louis, you want to kill him too. And you will enjoy doing it.
Oh, this is an interesting flashback.
What's in the bag? Hello?
That's a terrible wig. Or blowout. It's terrible.
Work. My work's in the bag. Is it a gun? Are you an assassin? Am I the man you came to kill? I did a terrible thing once. It wouldn't surprise me. You didn't come here for that. I know you're struggling, Danny. It's Daniel. I have what you're looking for. High quality, fitting the man of my taste. I have a room over on Divisadero, not too far a walk. You and I? I'm a vampire. I want to interview you. Sounds fun. I mean, if something happens, I'm cool, but yeah, I really want to interview you.
If something happens, like,
Take it as it comes. That okay with you? Would you like to join us?
No. You go ahead, have your fun.
okay, the dream was a little... Okay. So that was episode 6 of Interview with the Vampire. Of course, come to know with this series, every episode is excellent. So it took Lestat 6 years to wear Louis down. He never, ever wear down Claudia. Like, that girl was like, I am Claudia and she is me. I would have been it the exact same way. Like, no, I'm never seeing it for you. Lestat has a lot of balls. But people who are manipulators and as self-centered as Lestat is, they see no wrong in what they do. Their approach, everything they do is fine. There is no flaw in their plan. It's just a matter of making people bend to their will. Now, we have seen in movies where somebody is in an abusive relationship, they always come bearing gifts. Now, here's Lestat thing. He really didn't just say, I'm sorry, which I think would have gone a long way with Louis in the beginning. He would just bring gifts. He wouldn't just say, I'm sorry. He could have left a note on the door and just been like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Please forgive me. He wouldn't do that. He would rather spend all of this money as a gesture instead of just saying the words, which is a form of manipulation, right? It's not full accountability. I'm just going to give you this stuff until you're willing to take me back. And I don't have to say that what I did to cause the separation is wrong and I did wrong. I don't have to do that. I'm just going to give you gifts until you take me back and we just move on. We'll pretend like this other stuff didn't happen, which is exactly what Lestat wanted, to the point where, again, bravo, Claudia. Bravo to her, because he wanted to fix the mantle from their fight. She's like, no, no, no. We don't fix anything. We let this stuff remain so we don't forget. And it's not we. She's never going to forget what he did. But Louis is way more inclined. And like I said, I did feel a bit of empathy for Lestat when he mentioned how he was made. That does give me insight into how he treated Louis. Well, a little bit, because of how he was made. But he had a lover, Nikki, that he made into a vampire. And not real clear on what happened to Nikki. He says that Nikki died after they broke up. But, you know, Lestat is a lying machine. Speaking of lying, this mother sucker here, not only part of his apology was a record that he made with his side piece. That... If Louis ended up on an episode of Snapped, I would be here for it. I would cheer it on, because that's insane. He made an album with his side piece, delivered it, and went back to the side piece. Not only that, once Louis was willing to forgive him, he had a list of rules. 2 of the 6 rules, I think it was 6, was kill Antoinette and no secrets. He did not kill Antoinette. He cut her finger off, made her a vampire, right? That's what she said, now that I turn. He made her a vampire and kept seeing her. Didn't say anything about, like, I hope episode 7 chronicles his death in a very slow manner. Like, if it's 40 minutes of Lestat dying, I am here for it. I cannot take this man anymore. He is so horrible. Like, he like Ike Turner the vampire. I'm just going to go ahead and get into episode 7 now. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys later.